No.
What do you mean no? I just walked into the shop.
Nothing going on here.
Yeah. Be careful with that. I actually didn't mean to.
No, joking. It's just because of Vlogmas that it just still sits in my brain. Good evening, everybody. We are having some drinks, making some breakfast
Don't
meal
usually do
prep.
this. Meggan's forcing alcohol down me.
No, I'm not. We're making some breakfast meal prep and having a couple of drinks.
Because why not? Eh?
Because why not? You only live once, might as well have a wine.
Tuesday's the new Friday.
I was going to tell them what day it was. I feel like it makes it sound worse.
On Tuesdays we drink tequila.
Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand.
This is actually, I actually quite like this, to be fair.
Yeah, it's nice.
Rosé tequila.
Anyway, hi guys. We thought today we would make some breakfast meal prep and have a chat. Harry Styles is a bit loud, isn't he? He's going to copyright us.
Yeah, well,
We're getting in our
maybe
Harry
just
Styles feels here.
DM him, gotta let me off, mate.
DM him. I wish.
Oh, Harry, come on. I've been to all your gigs. Don't copyright me.
Do you know what me and Lizzie were talking about the other day? How excited we are to take Winnie when she's like 5. Imagine she's like, yeah, you know, it's not the same as it was. She already really likes him. Story of my life.
She doesn't.
Lies. Story of my life. How much does she love that song?
She likes your singing, not his.
I started singing Story of My Life to her the other day and she pisses herself laughing every time. I don't know why. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
And then I tried to do it and I'm like,
And she goes like this.
She goes, yeah, then or she just goes like that. Boil and mash them, stick them in a stew.
What's that from?
Lord of the Rings, which you still not watch with me. That triggered me really bad. Did you set me up for that?
Do you know what? Do you know what I'm doing? I'm saving for when Winnie will appreciate it and we'll both watch it for the first time together.
She won't appreciate. It's like it's not that young. It's kind of like 12, 13,
yeah, so
14,
I'll
15.
wait 12 more years.
Fuck you. You wrote it on
Harry
my birthday
Potter
thing.
will-
You said you would watch Lord of the Rings with me, and you never did.
And have you ever got? I made him.
And I didn't get my birthday massage.
I made him a jar where he had to take a favour out, and one of them was to watch Lord of the Rings. Do you ever use it? Your own fault.
I just used up the good ones.
So basically, we thought we'd make our breakfast meal prep. So we're making 2 recipes from Miles' cookbook, of course. So we're doing the preppable breakfast cookies, which I think are my favourite, you know. I feel like they're a really cool concept. I've said to Niall, if he does a second
I was
book.
about to say, yeah, go on, what are you saying?
If he does book 2.
Big if. Big if. Yeah, it's a big if.
Don't we think that he should do another version but in like new flavours?
This is what I was gonna, because I've been thinking about what you said the other day. So, if I was to write a second book, I don't know, my initial thought was don't like repeat anything because people don't want to just be like, oh, this is like just an updated version of the other book.
No.
But I'm thinking, if I did happen to write a second book, then maybe
you need to do like a take 2.
yeah. So the overnight oats, I think, is popular, and
That's the other one.
and
we're
the
making.
cookies. And so yeah, maybe I could just do similar, but
No, but like a new flavour, because
Yeah.
if they're helpful, because I think the overnight oats and the cookies are really helpful recipes. Like they're the ones that, like you make a big breakfast cookie and then you can take it on the go and it's a breakfast. And then the same.
and I don't know, it just sounded funny. And it's a breakfast. That's
No,
why they're called breakfast cookies.
No, but they're like dense with lots of goodness. Like a cookie, you wouldn't usually think that, but there's lots of like, they're filling is what I'm trying to say, and full of like nutritious ingredients, not like a really sugary cookie, if you know what I mean. So I feel like you could do like a new version, like a fruit and nut or something.
Do you want to write the book?
I'm sure you'll come up with a better one.
Do you want your own book? Right now it seems like you kind of like...
Can I be dedicated again though, please?
No, I don't know. I think once was enough.
I time is dedicated in the front, guys. If you haven't got the book, it says for Meggan and Winnie, which is really cute. That is cute. But yeah, the berry cheesecake overnight oats is the other one we're making, which is actually way nicer than any overnight oat recipe that I've tried to make. I'm gonna make that while we chat.
Yeah.
So basically,
I'm just gonna get these berries on over here to cook.
Okay. Basically, I just thought it'd be nice to have like a Q&A catch up. I didn't film last week, and I love doing.
Why didn't you film last week, you loser?
I don't know, but I'm gonna get back to filming weekly, I promise. But I love doing a video like this during Vlogmas, so I thought we could just have a juicy Q&A catch up, and we've got lots of good questions. I had a look on the box that I put on Instagram, and there's some good ones. So we're gonna do that while we make our berry cheesecake overnight oats and our preppable breakfast cookies. What's your favourite thing about you and Niall's relationship that has changed since Wynn's birth? Oh, that tequila has gone right to the cheeks.
Favourite thing? I'll turn the heat. Do you want to turn the heat?
Yes.
I don't know, I feel like now I have zero urge to like go out, just become way more like family orientated. Like it's a massive priority for me. Like my weekends now, I don't make any plans on Sunday because I just want to chill.
It's like our rule in our house, isn't it, that we all spend Sunday together.
I have no urge to really do much because
do you know what I think
just want to spend time with Winnie, and in the week we get busy. I want it to just be us, just us. You know what I mean? I feel like I want to work on that, just us as a little unit, and put lots of sort of time and effort and energy into it.
I think I think both of us are more content in general.
Yeah.
Like, one thing that I feel is that every day feels, even when things don't feel amazing, like if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, or you know those days where you just feel a bit like just meh. Just being with Wynn and her laugh, or just her, the highlights of my day on those days completely, aren't they? And I just feel very grateful for that, because I think I've just feel a whole new purpose for life in a way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where
I think it actually helps like day to day as well, because like we obviously work from home, but I think I love having Winnie around at home. Obviously sometimes it's difficult to juggle when we're both trying to work from home. She can take your mind off things sometimes, or if you're a little bit stressed, like spending a bit of time with her, and sometimes you're forced to take yourself away from whatever you've been doing in that day.
I think she's just like, she's simply her, and she's just happy to be there. I mean, not always, she's sometimes obviously grumpy and grumbly, but in general, babies are just like, they're just them, and that's that, and they're just, it's just simple in a way, the way that they, not simple because it's not simple, but she's just like innocent, that it just makes things that sometimes could be like irrelevant, but you sort of fixate on, that aren't so good.
Yeah, well you literally have, you're just not able to fixate on those things as much. So
well, yeah, I guess you're more,
like,
you're busier, aren't you, in a way?
Yeah. Sometimes like you might have just too much time to like be in your own head, whereas like Winnie will force you to be present, and sometimes it's like, well, she needs feeding now, so that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it just...
I feel like though there's just like a simple pleasure in just watching her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where just like watching her do the most simple things, just like, is my favourite thing in a way.
Yeah, I mean waking up is like the nicest thing when she just
so like usually if you have to wake up early or something, or a lot earlier than you usually would, and you just like, oh, I can't be bothered to wake up, but then just seeing her little face, and she's so happy when she wakes up.
Waking up before you have children, waking up with pets is nice.
Yeah.
But then like when you wake up with your kid, it's like a whole different level.
Yeah. Okay. Baby number 2, when? Question mark, question mark.
Don't know, should we? Or now? Next week? quite enjoying Winnie sleeping through the night at the moment. Could change, I guess.
Yeah, it probably will change again.
But
she's had about a 10-day streak, which has been the first time in 7 months.
Longer than that, isn't it?
I know, but I think it's just 10 days.
It's not long, is it? It's not long.
Well, but it is good because I think we are lucky that, as you know, some babies takes up longer than that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm enjoying that. So I'd quite like to just sleep for a bit, and then. So I'm in no rush basically.
No, I think we definitely would love to have.
But I would, we're definitely gonna, try for a second.
Yeah. Do you know what? I do feel like now she's starting to hit more milestones. She's like on the verge of crawling. She's got 2 little teeth coming through, and all these like all these milestones, like they're coming at once in a way, and it does make me feel a little bit sad that I do feel like we're gonna blink and she's gonna be a toddler.
Yeah, but.
And that would be lovely too, but I think I will miss having a baby. You know, like people get broody for babies. There's a reason why, because they are really cute.
Oh, what, so that's going to make you want to have another one sooner?
I think that's what happens quite often.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
So I do feel like when she starts to like feel more like a toddler, less like a baby, I might be...
Oh, I want another one. Another little one.
Pushing that.
But we always said about, what, 2 years?
Yeah.
Around that, so she's 7 months.
But then that ends up.
Well, then that means in like we not got to start getting to work in like.
Your face. Kind of just getting into a swing again.
But what do you mean by that? So we need to have
like,
another one.
No, I just mean like I just feel like I'm finding my feet again as me, and I feel like me. Like
I've only just started feeling human again.
Yeah, we're sleeping better, getting back into my fitness and my work, and just feeling a bit more like me again after nearly 8 months of a different me.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a different me now, but I do feel like I feel more myself again. And I think I mentioned this on TikTok that for a long time I didn't really know how to come online without being me plus Win, and as much as that is my reality, I didn't want my social media to become that. But then it's difficult because my social media is just my real life. So I spoke about this where like every photo that I took and every thumbnail, for instance, like it was me and winning, and I just wanted to come back online and just chat to you as me as much as I could without always her needing to be next to me. But it's difficult when you first become a mum, particularly because they are just an extension of you, but she feels like she's got more of her own thing now, and she's just more of her own little person, which is lovely. I mean, I loved those first few months, but it was hard to navigate coming back online as Meggan. Felt like I had mum written across my forehead in a way, because everything I did felt like that was all it was. And I know some mums have that for a long time, but yeah, I do just feel like I've just started to feel like me and Win is Win, and I'm mum, but I'm also me again. And it feels really nice to start to feel like I have a bit more of a balance of that. So I don't know if I want to, I don't know. And also I do just feel like with Winnie, I just can't imagine yet extending my heart to love another child yet. Like I just want to give her all of my attention for a little bit longer before we bring another little baby hopefully into the mix. But I'm very excited to be pregnant again, because I was really fortunate that I had a really nice pregnancy, and it might not happen again, but I did have a enjoyable pregnancy. And then, you know, we've absolutely loved becoming parents, which I also feel like we've been lucky to feel that, and it's just kind of added to our life. It hasn't felt like it's, I don't know how to explain what I mean, but it just feels like it's elevated our life in so many ways. I feel really fortunate that I feel like that towards parenthood. She just brings so much joy to day, every day. Okay, list the top 3 baby names you love and hate.
3 of each.
Yeah. 3 love, 3 hate.
I don't want to say hate because
I know,
there's going to be people out there with that name or their kids have got that name.
No, I know, that's a bit mean.
I do, well actually I'm not going to do love either because I'm just giving away our baby names. They're very sneaky, that person. I see what they're trying to do.
Yeah, but we don't even know what
Trying to extrapolate information out.
future baby would be called anyway.
I don't know, you go first. What do you like? What's your top 3 boys?
So I love boys.
What, they want top 3 boy and girl and then
overall,
bottom 3?
Overall, I think we should do. I find girls a lot easier to name.
I don't like the half of the names you come up with for girls, to be fair.
I had a list on my phone. Autumn, Melody,
No.
Primrose. Oh, I love Hattie as well. They're cute.
Primrose is just awful.
Prim. Baby Prim.
No.
I was gonna say, do you know what, when we were naming Winnie, it was so difficult. The only name he liked out of my list of like
They're
20.
too flowery. This is a real
Yeah,
person.
I love a flower. Look at Bluebell. Basil. They're herbs.
Yeah, I mean that's a herb.
Poppy.
Yeah, but it's a cat. It's different. Pets are different.
Oh no, it's not. Winnie's like Winnie the Pooh.
They're just too flowery, and it's like it doesn't feel like it's going to be a real person.
No,
I know, like you could say that about Winnie as well, but I don't know, it's just something about Winnie which I liked.
I do agree that I'm not too keen on the really out there names, but Winnie's actually quite like an old school name. I think it's a lovely name.
What's your bottom 3 then? Matilda, I don't like that.
Oh, Tilly though, come on.
You like flowery names, and then you like really like posh private school girls' names, like Hattie and Tilly.
Hattie's a really nice name.
Rosie.
That's a nice name.
Oh no.
That's so rude. There's going to be so many people watching called Rosie.
Sorry. No, I think if you're already called Rosie, it's fine.
You can help it.
If you're already called, if you're 20,
I think Rosie is a really nice name.
If you're in your mid-20s and you've been called Rosie for 20 odd years,
Violet,
that's absolutely fine.
Violet.
But you can't call a baby Rosie.
Violet.
Why has it got to be a flower? Violet's a
colour.
No, violet's a flower.
It's a colour.
As well. It's a flower.
Well.
Isn't it?
No, I think it's a colour.
No, do you find it hard to think of boys' names?
Yes, I do, to be fair.
Yeah, because you
like
probably
Forest.
associate it with whenever I say a boy's name, you associate it with someone that you've grown up with in your childhood.
Harry. I love that name.
When you say girls' names, I probably associate it with something or something.
Melody.
Don't say that. She just had a reference to some girl that I used to
It rhymes it. Maybe you shouldn't have been such a player when you were younger then, because then we're cancelling out lots of names here, aren't we?
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
So many girls would have got the ick then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Daffy. Daffy!
Now we're on to Disney characters.
Daffodil. Oh yeah, Daffy Duck.
Just don't like names, that's it.
Well, we'll just call them Niall Jr.
Yeah, now we're talking. Come on.
Do you like your name?
I don't know.
He doesn't like any name. Relationship after baby, question mark.
What? We do still have a relationship.
How is our
somewhat.
relationship after our baby, I think is what they mean.
You know, there's been not a lot of argument. Obviously it does cause tension, it creates arguments, but I think our relationship has always been in a really good place throughout the whole time.
Yeah, I think that, I think I said this in our last tipsy Q&A, so sorry for being a repetitive. What name starts with R?
Repetitive.
Rapunzel. One thing that I'm really fortunate that we have within our relationship is a really good foundation of how much we care about each other.
Yeah.
And I'm quite confident in that, and I think you are too, that it's not like we're insecure that one of us is going to walk away very easily. You ran off with my Jammer, then I feel like, to be fair. I don't blame him.
Anyways, back to the question.
No, but
you're not doing a very good job of convincing people our relationship's alright right now.
No, I just feel like, I do feel from deep in my heart that we have a really good foundation of love and understanding of each other, because we've been together for a long time now. I think we're both quite secure in ourselves separately, which I think is really key.
Yeah.
Because if you're not happy within yourself, I think then if you try and lean on each other too much, it can be not toxic, but it can, like, our relationship should add to each other's life, not, we shouldn't lean on it to be our entire happiness, if that makes sense. And I think we're quite lucky that we have quite a lot of confidence within ourselves, and then that sort of translates that we're quite secure. Like, we're not very insecure people in our relationship where we're worried that you're doing this or I'm doing this, or you're out and are you talking to this person, and vice versa.
You've never worried about, oh, is he going out talking to other girls?
Maybe when we're first together.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I mean. I'm really happy for you that you'll hit big goals that I know you've been working towards for years.
Yeah.
And that has fulfilled you in that side of your life. That has, like, just made you, I don't know how to explain it without it sounding patronising, to be honest, but
no, I think, like, there have been times where I think it's not like I was probably like a bit of insecurity, or just not, I wasn't happy with what I'd achieved in my, like, career and work. And then obviously Meggan's just been smashing it for years. Well, no, you have, and then, you know, if you feel like, oh, like, that person isn't, like, I don't know, appreciating me, or that person isn't, I'm not saying that I felt like this, but, or if you feel like, no, but I've never not felt appreciated, but basically, like, that cliche where you just need to, like, work on yourself and be the best person you can be, and just, like, have confidence within yourself and be secure within yourself, and then, like, and you actually need to be done. Yeah, I think relationships should be, like, equal.
Yeah,
as much as you can, and it's not always perfect. It's not always possible
not
for everything to be completely equal. But you have to try and aim for that, and I think that does come from just working on yourself, achieving yourself, building up your own self-esteem. But it will only ever come from, like, within yourself and hard work. And then eventually, like, it sounds ridiculous, but you need to be at a point where you're so secure within yourself, where you're like, well, if this other person isn't appreciating me, then, like, I can walk away. Like, obviously it's heartbreaking, it's like, it would be awful, and it's not going to happen, like, with me or Meggan. But I think to have that confidence within yourself, where you're like, if things really were just not right for me, I can walk away and I can just be a strong person by myself.
I think the sad thing is, though, it's quite common that often there is a person in a relationship, not always, but quite often, where they are slightly more undervalued, or they just put their needs second. It just boils down to feeling happy. Like, you have to feel happy separately for your relationship to really work. Like, you can't depend on another person to provide that full happiness. But yeah, obviously we go through ups and downs, and that was something I saw in the question box as well, is like, do you guys argue? Because obviously we're not going to, like, highlight that online, because when we argue, we're arguing, and it would be strange to film that. But I would always be upfront and saying, like, yeah, there are things that we disagree on, and we have, obviously we're a normal couple that has things within our relationship which we struggle with. And
I think most of, like, the things that are related to since Winnie's been born, is mostly just, like, us trying to make sure things are still equal and balanced. And the thing is, it's a bit of a catch-22, I think, because naturally when you have a baby, you're just going to feel, like, tired at times, and you're just going to feel like, I've done everything today. And
I think that's probably the thing we argue about most, like, I've done more. I've done more yesterday. And it's like,
I'm exhausted, I've done this, and then the other person's like, well, I'm exhausted, I've done this, and this. So, like, no one's really right or wrong. You're just both exhausted. And so sometimes it just actually doesn't help to argue. You just need to just maybe sit in a separate room for a little bit.
Yeah. Gavin and Stacey are coming back for another Christmas special. That's as juicy as it gets. Very excited.
Who said that? What's their name?
Let me actually
What's
just
their
read.
Instagram? I'm DMing
Gavin.
them. I'm asking for proof.
I mean, if that happens, I will cry in a corner with happiness. Christmas special 2024. Come on. Ruth Jones downplayed new episode rumour.
Well, Corden has stopped his show, isn't he?
Maybe he's getting ready to be Swippy.
Maybe they're going to do they should just do a whole other season.
One thing you miss from pre-bub life is, I would say, the fact that you can't be spontaneous anymore. I think that is probably the biggest feel that I feel.
What would you do? What's an example of something spontaneous?
Well, you just can't be like, right, let's just go out tonight. Because you'd have to arrange like a babysitter.
Yeah.
Or you can't just be like, oh, let's just go
I quite like
travelling.
that as well though. Like, I just drink way less. Mind you, when she was born I drank more. The first 6 months I drank like more than I ever did before, but now it's just like,
Did you?
it's restrictive.
But just casually, you mean?
Yeah, well, we had some celebratory drinks when she was born, and then that just sort of stuck for a bit.
Do you know what though? I feel like those first few weeks are such a blur for me. All I remember is like sitting on the sofa and watching Married at First Sight.
Yeah, that was it. It was really nice, to be honest. I really enjoyed that time.
And just like figuring out who I was again.
I don't really miss it, but like, you just can't be lazy. You can't just be super.
No, you can't
lazy.
you can't have a Sunday where you just sit and be selfish all day because
Just do nothing.
you have to look after
Yeah.
a baby all the time. But then you have the naps.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not that bad. That's why I was like, I don't even know if I really mean that one.
We're lucky that Wynn goes to bed at a good time already because we've had our evenings back since she was like 5 months, haven't we?
Yeah.
So that's been nice because we've had time to like just be together, because for like 5 months she was up with us till we went to bed. It just means that you didn't have any time just one-on-one together. But to be fair, do you not think that that went so fast, that first bit?
It is a blur.
It is a blur.
Yeah. I guess I do agree with the spontaneous in terms of like, I just kind of related it to going out drinking, like not like partying properly, but just, you know, you just can't just go out for dinner even. Like, we both want to go to the gym.
Yes, we
Like,
can't both
you
be
can't
at
just
the
be like,
house.
alright, I'm gonna do this and that, and then I'm going to the gym. It's like,
You have to plan things much
obviously
more.
someone needs to be there, and then you have to coordinate that with your other half, which again is like one of those things where you just are fighting for it to feel equal. Sometimes it doesn't feel equal, but it's not because it's not equal, it's just because it's just difficult and you both just have less time, realistically.
I think before she was born, we often tried to squeeze things into the day, whereas now we don't have the luxury of doing that because it's kind of like a luxury to have time to do the things you need to do, but you have to like very cleverly organize how you fill a day, whereas before I personally found that I would be like, right, I'm going to make sure I go there at this time so that I can do this at this time and then this at this time, whereas like I don't have the ability really to do that anymore because like, oh yeah, but there's also a baby that like needs me, like do
you
whatever,
have to
whenever. You have
everything
to,
you do with
yeah.
someone else.
If you gave each other a hall pass, which celeb would you sleep with? I mean, 3 guesses.
I'm not even.
Mate, I know who yours
that.
is.
I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah, but I know who yours is.
Who?
Dua Lipa. What was the sex like while, in capitals, Meggan was pregnant? Did Niall feel awkward?
I didn't feel awkward, but a lot of, I don't know, I think that kind of thing just doesn't bother me. I think it would bother other men. I don't know, I've had a couple of friends like, well, Carl and Sam both asked me like, you know, is it weird or do you feel like, you know?
Oh, because of the baby situation.
That's what they mean by that.
Right, yeah. I wasn't really thinking what that meant.
Yeah.
I think I wondered that too.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't thinking about it. at the time. You know what I mean? My mind was on other things. But I actually think we had quite a good sex life when you were pregnant.
But this is the other thing.
I did kind of fear, but like, oh, that's it. She's got a baby now. That's me done for the next 9 months or whatever.
No.
The next 2 years until she wants another one. But no, it wasn't like that in reality.
This is another thing where I feel like it's a bit of a blur. I can't actually remember. My pregnancy feels quite blurred in general.
Yeah.
It kind of just was like a time in my life where, I don't know.
I remember like your body changing, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I always
you're
wondered
obviously
how to
like,
feel that.
you know, different like shape, which is like quite
Big old
weird, but it didn't
top.
freak me out at all, and it didn't like stop me. It didn't like, you know what I mean? It
Didn't stop me.
didn't put me off.
You're very accepting. I do feel like you don't get weirded out by much, luckily. Could you run a business together?
Yeah, I think we could. I want Beyond and the Good Bite to be way more sort of associated.
Because they are. So my app Beyond has Nile, the Good Bite brand's food within it, but we don't really shout about it, do we? And we should.
No,
because it's exclusive recipes on there.
I've just been overstretched. I've not been able to offer much, but
you're hiring at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, we should get a couple new people on soon. So yeah, we just want to make it like a stronger sort of thing that people know. Oh, they're like obviously associated, but I think we could. I think we would be good one day. I think it would be good because I think you bring something different to what I would bring. Do you know what I mean? Mm. Where I think you're actually better than you think at business, whereas like I don't think I thrive in that. Yeah, well, I would say exactly the same to you.
Maybe I think I'm good at marketing.
I'm good at it.
I just think you're really, really tunnel vision at just being like, this is how I'm going to make this great and that's all I'm going to do and I'm just going to go for it and forget everything else. I'm a bit more like, I need to keep that going and that going and that going and that going.
I just think you've been pulled in those different directions. When you started,
but
with your main period of growth on social media, you were just doing that, weren't you? And then you have other opportunities that go. Like now I'm being pulled in different directions already. You know, where it's like 2 years ago, maybe I was just focusing on the Good Bite.
But you were very good at just allowing that, whereas I don't think I'm actually so good at that because I'm like, but I want to do YouTube, but I also want to like start an app business, but I also want to be really good at like being active on TikTok, but I also want to like make sure I keep this going. And
I do think you can try and do too many things.
Yeah, and I think then you can.
But our style of content's different. Probably takes me longer to create one piece of content than it does for you, so you can do, you know what I mean? But at one point I was trying to do YouTube and Instagram and everything, and I just thought I just want to focus on Instagram to try and grow it, which worked. So
yeah, no, I mean we are working on a new project together, which we actually haven't really done before, have we?
Yeah.
We haven't really done something officially together before.
Well, we have actually once.
we
have once. But yeah, I think that would be,
not like
that'd be cool.
Officially.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
So we are working on a project together, which will be coming soon. Last one's a juicy. Sex life now you have a baby. I don't know what they want, like...
Sex life now you have a baby. We do have one. We have a sex life.
I think maybe they
hold my hand as I'm answering this. Trying to influence me.
I'm not trying to influence you, just maybe...
Tell them it's great. Tell them it's great. Tell them it's the best it's ever been.
No,
tell them how,
you've got to be honest.
How... Fucking shit. No, I don't think it's changed much. It's like one of those things that takes effort and takes communication and takes understanding each other.
Yeah, and I think that it's gone through different stages since Wynn's been born to now, because for instance, like for those first few months she was in bed, not with us, but she was in the bed next to us, which
didn't stop us either, did it? Let's be honest.
No!
Well, it didn't! What are you gonna lie?
Imagine when he watches this one day.
What are you supposed to do? Like, you're not gonna not have sex for 6 months, are you?
Some people don't.
Maybe, yeah, but I would...
No, we're not that.
I'd be tearing my hair out.
I'd tear my hair out.
Why'd you go for the eyebrows? There's more hair up here, believe it or not.
No, the only thing I will say is I think it hit a point on the verge of like near to when we would be moving her into her own room at like 5-ish months, and I felt a bit weird. Again, it's kind of like a season where it will be different for a bit, where you are just more aware of this little person that is like, and it, like how I described it when we first did that Q&A after she was born, where they are literally like an extension of you, whereas I do feel now she's more of like, she's still an extension of us, but she's slightly more her own person. I can tell she understands things much better. She asks in her own way. Obviously she doesn't actually physically speak, but for what she wants. Whereas when they are that little, they, you know, they're in the room with you. They don't have a bedtime. They usually stay up, or well, we found anyway with Winnie, she stayed up with us and went to bed essentially when we did, near enough. So I think it's just remembering it's like a season and it will adjust again, but it can help where if like you have a mum that could look after the baby, if you want like to have a date and reconnect. I think it's difficult because when you're when you're in that phase,
like, Mum, can you look after the baby for half hour?
That's literally what my mum said to me. If she wanted us to do that.
What, if we go upstairs?
That's what she said.
Oh no, Helga, come on. No way.
She did literally say that to me. Do you not remember what we did in the morning sometimes is we gave her Winnie. And then we had an hour in bed. No, that was a few times. It was. That seemed to work well. So that is something that I would say could help. It's like if you do have...
We can never do that again now.
One of your parents staying, or like down for the weekend, which my mum did sometimes. In the morning after she had a feed, sometimes I feel like this is TMI.
There's just gonna be loads of guys inviting their fucking mum over for like brunch on a Saturday or Sunday. Mum, do you want to come over?
Just look after her for an hour while we have a lie-in.
We just need a lie-in.
We're
so tired.
I will say though that as the mum, postpartum, there's a long period where you're just like, I don't know what's gonna be like down there.
Yeah, you don't have sex for a few weeks after the...
It was a bit more than a few. It was at least 6.
6 weeks.
I think it was 6 weeks before we did.
Yeah.
Because that is kind of like the time scale they often say.
I was counting down the minutes.
Stop being a creep. Anyway, I think I'm going to finish this video here. But thank you so much for joining us on another tipsy Q&A. Mel didn't really get tipsy, but look at the cheeks, I'm so flushed. It just affects me more on postpartum.
That's a postpartum excuse. How many excuses and for how long do you get to use a postpartum excuse for?
The long time.
6 months?
Did you give birth?
Well, no, it's already been 6 months.
Did you give birth? No. You don't know what it's like. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will hopefully see you very soon for another video.
See ya.
Guys, I forgot to slot in the food. So these are our, I was gonna say cherry cheesecake overnight oats. Berry cheesecake overnight oats. They are so good. I can't even describe to you. So good. And then these are our preppable breakfast cookies. You can probably hear Niall weeing.